Hi class, welcome to another tutorial on CS384. This time we will see what is Fibonacci series and how can you design the Fibonacci using recursion. As seen in the last lecture, recursion is basically the way by which a function calls itself to get a desired result. So let us see what a Fibonacci series is. So initially we defined the two terms of Fibonacci as 0 and 1. So the third term basically is the summation of first two terms. So this and both combined. So 0 plus 1 is 1, right? That is the third term. Then the next term will be the sum of previous two terms. So 1 and 1 is 2, right? The next term will be the sum of previous two terms. So 1 and 2, which is 3. So the next term will be summation of this and this, 2 and 3 is 5. So the sum of the value of the current term is the value of the previous term plus the value of the previous term. So 5 plus 3 is 8, then 5 plus 8 is 13, 13 plus 8 is 21, 21 plus 13 is 34, and so on, right? So this value basically depends on this value and this value. Now if you see, this value in turn depends on this value and this value. So you can see there is a common thing. I can derive this from this and this. I can derive this from this and this. So similarly, you can go up to the end. So this is a classic case of recursion also, right? So what I'm doing here, so initially we define only two terms. So Fibonacci of 0 and Fibonacci of 1. So if you see the Fibonacci function, for negative numbers it is not defined. If the number is 0, the first term, the Fibonacci itself is 0. For the second term, we statically define, but any terms, for example, the third term will be 0 plus 1, right? So the third term is a recursive function of Fibonacci of n minus 1 plus Fibonacci of n minus 2. So now again you can see this Fibonacci function is being called within the Fibonacci function itself. So classic case of recursion. Now we will see what happens here. So I am calling initially Fibonacci of 0. So when I call Fibonacci of 0, it will match this particular pair. N is equal to 0. So it will return me 0. So the value 0 is printed here. Let us just check the output. So Fibonacci of 0 is 0. Then I am printing Fibonacci of 1. These are the initial terms. So Fibonacci of 1 basically has n equal to 1. So it returns 1. Always keep in mind that whenever you are doing recursion problems, it should have an exit clause. What do I mean by exit clause? Exit clause means there should be a point where the function is exiting. Like in this particular case, if my n is less than 0 or n is equal to 0 or n is equal to 1. So I am returning some values, right? But I have to ensure that the program eventually comes into these values, or else it will run this forever and forever, right? So with recursion, there are high chances of going into infinite loop, so that has to be taken care of. Now I'm taking n equal to 6. I in range we have already seen 6 means 0 to 6 but not including 6. And if I greater than 2, because for first two values I have already defined. Now see what happens. Fibonacci of 2, I am using the format clause. Just a second. So here I am just printing the value, so nothing special here. So Fibonacci of n is Fibonacci n minus 1 and n minus 2. So you can see Fibonacci of 2 is Fibonacci 1 plus 0. Here actually I am calling the function Fibonacci. So when I am calling Fibonacci of 2, what happens? Fibonacci of 2 goes here. So in Fibonacci of 2, n keeps here 2, nothing matches. So Fibonacci of 2 minus 1 and Fibonacci of 2 minus 2. So 1 and 0. So both of them basically return 1 only. For 0 returns 0 and 1 returns 1. So 0 plus 1, you basically get Fibonacci of 2. Now Fibonacci of 3 basically is Fibonacci of 2 plus Fibonacci of 1. So again, it goes and compute the value of Fibonacci 2 and Fibonacci 1. Similarly, it goes on in this fashion. Right? Now I will tell you what is the issue with recursion. So this is how the Fibonacci of phi is calculated, right? So Fibonacci of phi is phi minus 1 and phi minus 2, right? So Fibonacci of 4 and 3. Then Fibonacci of 4 is again Fibonacci of 3 and Fibonacci of 2. Then Fibonacci of 3 is n minus 1, n minus 2, right? Then it is 1 and 0. Finally 1 and 0, 1 and 0, 1 and 0. Right? So we know that Fibonacci of 1 is 1 and 0 is 0. So 1 plus 0 basically gives you the output as 1, which goes into Fib2, which is nothing but Fibonacci 2. Again, 2 plus 1 is 3. So Fibonacci of 3 is 2 plus 1, 3. So now you just check how many times the same calculation is actually happening. So we have Fibonacci of 1, Fibonacci of 0, Fibonacci of 1 again, Fibonacci of 0, Fibonacci of 1, Fibonacci of 0, right? So we need not compute the same value so many times again and again, right? Once you are done, you are done. Like once I get the value of Fibonacci 3 here, I should be able to directly use it here. But recursion basically computes each and everything again and again and again. So the tree gets very dense, and that is why it uses more memory. So there is a concept called dynamic programming. I'm not sure whether you will see that in this course, that makes use of memoization. Memoization is basically storing partial results. Like once you have Fibonacci of 3 here, then you will not compute this particular tree, right? You will directly fill the value of Fib3 here, right? So this is how I wanted to show that Fibonacci basically, or any recursion, can go to huge depths. Just imagine this is only for Fib5. If it had been Fib50 or something like this, a page would have been less to draw that tree, right? And there is a stack data structure that is used for maintaining. See, whenever you call a function, there is a data structure called stack. Stack you have studied in CS 102, right? So same for recursion. Each and every function call is stacked up together, and finally the stack is popped. So that's it for this video. If you want to see like for higher values of this, let us try to compute for 60. It will take some time. See, just see the progress. 30, 31, 32, 33, right? Because for every tree, it is computing all and all and all of the values, right? And that is why recursion is slow. You don't use recursion. So right now I'm pausing the video. You can try to have this fun at your home. The code is already shared in the Dropbox. You can try to run for a higher value, and then you can just see what is the result. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.